July 30th is a great day for freedom, but it's also a bleak day, a bewilderingly bleak day. The reason it's a great day is that it was on July 30th, back in 1619, that the first representative assembly met in the New World at Jamestown, Virginia. It's astounding that this would happen. The colony had only been founded 12 years earlier, and it was as ill-planned a venture as human history records. The colonists had no idea where they were going, what they would do when they got there. They didn't bring farming tools. They didn't think they were going to have to work. They seemed totally unprepared, and yet starving, malarial, beset by suspicious local inhabitants. Within 12 years, they set up their own parliament without asking anybody's permission, and it never ceased to meet. Because that's what free Englishmen did. And that's why July 30th is a great day for liberty. All the representative institutions in the British colonies, including those that became Canada, trace back in some sense to that founding. The reason it's a bleak day is that in the same place, in the same year, though not on the same day, the first black slaves were sold in British North America. A Dutch ship was blown off course carrying 20 black people. They landed at Jamestown. They said, "Who wants to buy some human beings?" And a bunch of hands went up. "Sure, fine, I'll do that." How could they have been so obtuse? From that seed, the poisonous institution of slavery grew and flourished. And throughout its history, enormous numbers of people who were otherwise thoroughly decent didn't understand how evil it was and how hypocritical. How is this possible? When I teach American history, and I teach the paradox of American slavery and American freedom starting in the same place in the same year, I put this to my students. If the people who instituted and preserved slavery were monsters, it would be easy to understand. If the past were a tale of bleak and dismal horror leading up to the enlightened moment when we burst upon the scene, it would also be possible to explain. But it's not true. If you had met the slave owners and had been yourself blind to the evil of slavery, you would have liked a lot of them for good reasons. Generous, honorable, brave. They had an enormous collection of excellent human qualities, including, and this is the weird bit, this devotion to self-government and liberty. And yet, somehow, they didn't see that slavery was absolutely incompatible with liberty and with human decency. When I teach this to my students, I say this is a warning. Don't get too full of yourselves because you live in the present and you think we know everything. We've achieved total enlightenment because of the gift of the calendar, that it's 2015. Posterity may well look upon us with horror for something we absolutely took for granted. I brought this up in one seminar on slavery, and I said maybe abortion on demand. One of the students said maybe our lack of attention to animal rights. Because the point is, we don't know. We can't know. If we did know, we wouldn't be doing it. But that such brave, inspired, freedom-loving people could have instituted racial slavery and preserved it for centuries reminds us to be humble about our own moral clarity. We too may be human beings as fallible as they were.